Let's watch this. This is part 2 of Coffeezilla's, like, you know, I believe it's part 2 of 3. I believe he mentioned it was a 3-parter in his video from 3 days ago. We actually just reacted to it yesterday. This is part 2, but they're very short, so I wonder why he didn't make one big thing. Let's get it going. The biggest fraud in Logan Paul's scam.
For the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project.
So just a little recap. From what it seems like to me, Logan Paul did this weird, like, game. There was an egg. You buy eggs, and then you can hatch them, and you can make money, whatever. He potentially invested money into it. There was a middleman between him and, like, the engineer who's created it, and apparently the middleman was suspicious. I don't know if I would blame everything on Logan Paul yet, but we'll find out, you know?
Cryptozoo.co. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
I think I would consider playing that.
I lost around $50,000 in Cryptozoo.
I lost $40,000.
$500,000 Australian.
I'm telling you, it's just a picture. There's nothing I can do with it.
Wait, you can't even hatch?
No.
We have an issue with.
Apparently the engineers ran away and are holding the information because they didn't get paid. So
Cryptozoo, where our lead developer took the code that he made, fled to Switzerland, and like held it hostage for $1 million.
He never gave me anything at all, ever. And he promised me, 5 Zoo tokens and $1 million. He never paid me.
Wait a second. Who's Eddie? I thought that all of this was Logan Paul.
Eddie is the guy from just Grounded for Life, the uncle. It's pretty funny. It's a pretty good show, Grounded for Life. You guys ever heard of it before? I know I'm a little boomer, but Grounded for Life. It's a good show. You guys remember this show back in the day? It's an older show. You know, back then I had a crush on the sister, but that was years ago. Here's Eddie. I don't know why I'm bringing this obscure reference up.
What's this random guy doing in Logan Paul's project? And who is Eddie Ibanez? To begin answering the question of who Eddie is, I decided to take a deep dive. I started by looking through all the news articles I could on Eddie, where I found out he graduated from MIT and from.
Personally, I'm afraid of the deep ocean, so I don't want to go. I wouldn't go for a deep dive.
There became a data scientist and cybersecurity expert, and used that technical background to win a Super Bowl for the Eagles. And there were videos on him too, which all painted him as brilliant and extremely accomplished.
Yes, hi, my name's Eddie Ibanez. I'm a father of 3.
Kind of reminds me of Elon Musk.
Lead developer here at Cryptozoo.
As a teenager, he successfully hacked AOL from his bedroom. He continued to pursue computer science until attending MIT. He was then recruited out to work for a government agency in cybersecurity, developing software that reverse engineers the location of known government and terrorist threats.
You started with the federal government, and you started off really tracking criminals with burner phones and all.
Honestly, after this whole search, I felt more confused than ever. If Eddie's such an amazing guy, why didn't he pay developers? And is he really the puppet master behind Cryptozoo? Or
it's a good question, because if you really think about it, the only reason that Pamela Anderson's sex tape was released is because Tommy Lee didn't pay those guys. And I know that what they did was wrong by releasing it, but Tommy, you should have paid them for their work. I watched Pam and Tommy. Tommy's an asshole. I feel bad for Pamela Anderson because, I think that she was I think she got a raw deal. And nah, that's not a sex joke, guy. It could have been. Wasn't, though. So.
Or is it someone else? Honestly.
Yeah, regional variant Elon Musk. You guys are so dumb with this Pokemon shit.
I felt like at this point I needed a drink, and I needed to ask for help.
What kind of a drink? I mean, you shouldn't be turning to alcohol when you're frustrated and stressed. Come on, guys. That's bad habits, okay?
How's it going?
Just do what I do. Eat. Become morbidly obese. It's better for you.
Not good.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I'm confused about this Eddie Ibanez guy.
What the fuck is happening?
He comes
right
out of
now?
nowhere with his Cryptozoo story, and everything about him I find seems great.
So,
it's giving me like angry video game nerd vibes, but the quality is a bit better. Sorry, James. Just saying.
what's the problem?
Well, everything's not great. Everything about this guy just seems too perfect. He's an MIT grad. He works for the military. He even claims he won a Super Bowl. Why would that guy work for Logan Paul?
I know what's happening here. Coffeezilla is in love with the guy, and that's why he seems too perfect. He's caught the love bug. Hoo-hoo.
I don't know, but I can find out. You said his name is Eddie Ibanez?
I think he goes by Eduardo technically, but wait, what are you doing?
I'm just looking around. And done.
This doesn't really make too much sense to me, and I'm going to explain this to you. So right now, we have is a robot that is scanning basically some kind of a visual computer why would the robot need to? Why would you program a robot to use its eyes to scan a visual computer of information to try to like interpret that information? Why wouldn't you just make it internal for that robot to be able to do like an internal scan? Because it just kind of seems like you're doing too much extra work. What's the point? What's the point of that robot? Very inefficient robot. All right, it's probably why it's just a fucking bartender at this point.
Well, what'd you find?
A few red flags, a couple of misdemeanors. Ooh,
me too.
4 cases. I'll send him over. He got sued by his landlord for not paying rent.
Oh, hey, base guys. Landlords are thieveries.
Sued by his credit card company for not paying his bill.
Hey, credit card companies are thieveries, dude.
You can skip that stuff. I just need whatever's relevant to Cryptozoo.
Why'd you bring it up?
That's basically it.
Why'd you put it in the video then? It's weird, but okay.
Other than, hold on. No, wait, I did find something. Look,
robot
look at
sucks.
What's this?
It's from a paper in Philly. I barely picked it up. This reporter says Eddie's entire story is fake.
Wait.
What the hell's that? Why is this happening?
What?
Yeah, the whole Eddie Ibanez character. This guy Robb investigated it. He says it's a lie.
I gotta find this guy.
Okay.
Send me his info. I got some calls to make.
Coffee.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We met up with Robb, the reporter who's been investigating Eddie Ibanez for a while now.
Okay.
And I wanted to know, what did Adam think of him when they first met?
I wasn't quite sure what to make of him. Based on what I knew about him, he was a MIT grad who went on to work for the CIA and the Defense Department, and I didn't want to waste his time. And it wasn't long after I sat down that I realized he was wasting my time.
Can you tell me about some of the lies Eddie told you?
Eddie has told me so many lies over the course of my 2 interviews with him, and the first lie he told me is probably the oldest lie that he's told so many people, which is that he's an orphan. I first realized Eddie might be lying to me when I went home the next day and Googled Eddie Ibanez's family. I found a video of Eddie and his wife making rice pudding on a Fox and Friends segment on Fox News, and Eddie's wife Jackie explained that she learned the recipe from Eddie's mother.
So in
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, so I didn't know this. I looked up the definition of orphan. I thought it was just somebody in like the foster care system. An orphan is a child whose parents are dead. I didn't know that. Very specific. So yeah, you literally, was it their adopted mother? I don't know. I'm probably just lying, but Jesus,
In that picture, you've got Jackie Ibanez. You know her along with her husband Eddie and her 2 little girls.
But hold on a second. Wait. I remember when we watched the last video, there was something at the end that made me remind me of Batman.
Trust me, bro. Community.
Oh.
You aren't that guy. Logan replies, oh, trust me, bro. I am that guy.
That reminded me of Batman. But then this guy, his parents, he's an orphan, so maybe he's Batman. So far, Logan or this guy might be Batman. That's all I'm saying.
Love rice pudding. Why is this a family recipe?
Okay, so Eddie's mom made this rice pudding once.
Wait, Eddie's mom? I thought Eddie was an orphan. Well, it turns out the only problem with that is that not only does his mom exist, she's alive and in his life.
That is a problem. I wish she was dead. Am I right, guys?
And it turns out it wasn't just Adam that heard this story either. He told it a lot.
Did you ever meet his mother or his parents?
I did meet his mother.
Did he ever tell you he was an orphan?
Yes.
How did he square that with you?
So that's why I'm so confused. He told me he was an orphan and all this stuff, but then I meet his mom.
He told
Was it his biological mother or was it like an adopted mother?
me he was an orphan and then I met his mother is quite the string of words. But as insane as these lies are, let's be real. It doesn't explain why Cryptozoo.
No, but is it? But I'm just being real. Like, does it mean it's a lie? Like, can't you still be an orphan if your parents are dead but you were adopted? What if it was a stepmom? Yeah. Well, that doesn't make sense either because if an orphan's when both of your parents are dead, so if it was a stepmom, the dad would have to still be alive. So that would be literally impossible. It still wouldn't make them an orphan. But my question is like, why? How do we know it's not like a non-biological mother? Right? That makes sense to me. But okay, what's this guy's name? Eddie Ibanez. Okay.
Failed. But the next lies kind of do, because part of Eddie's story is also that he went to MIT where he was recruited to the CIA. And it's part of why he was so attractive as a lead developer, all the wild experiences that he had had. But it's just not true.
I emailed the MIT registrar's office and I asked if...
Oh, you're saying that they got divorced and then the mom died first, but then the dad married a woman and then the dad died and then that's how he was an orphan? Maybe. I feel like maybe he's just adopted, but okay.
If Eddie Ibanez attended the school, and they confirmed in absolute terms that he never attended MIT.
That's right. The whole orphan to MIT origin story, it wasn't true. And Eddie...
Heard it 1,000 times, brother.
Eddie's whole backstory from here kind of falls apart as well. How could he have been recruited to a government agency out of MIT if he never went to MIT? If this is all seeming crazy to you, you might ask yourself, who would believe all this? And this is where Eddie shines. He kind of had a gift for getting people to believe in the lies he told, especially super rich and powerful people.
Just goes to show you, bro. You can put whatever the fuck you want on your resume. No one actually reads it. That's your advice. So just say that you did things that you didn't do.
For some reason, like take for instance this story, him winning the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. He managed to convince the owner of the New York Yankees that it was true, Barry Klarberg, who completely bought into it without question and told the same story later in a college seminar.
Let's jump right into the work that you did for the Philadelphia Eagles, which led to a Super Bowl championship, led to you getting a Super Bowl ring. Yep. Tell us exactly what your job was to do for them and how it worked out.
That's great.
No, sure thing. So first off, they said like, we don't know where to put you, but and then the sports science guy was the one guy. He's like, hey, I got some data. I'm interested. So we took in his data, and then we found out that these players, what happens is it's like a player as they run around, they get at certain fatigue levels. So if you ever played Street Fighter, the video game, there's like a red bar at the top, and every time you get hit, that red bar goes down until you die, you're KO'd, right? So then we're trying to figure out kind of what that is for a player, and on an injury level, right? There's injury bar that gets knocked down and that gets KO'd.
This is insane.
I mean, I guess it sounds like it's true, but I don't know how you would like actually implement that. Like every player has a fatigue level. Sure, okay. How would you quantify that? I guess, but okay. I feel like that just sounds like a lie based on what I'm hearing. But okay.
He convinced an owner of the Yankees that he won a Super Bowl by turning sports athletes into Street Fighter characters. And of course, none of it's true. The Philadelphia Eagles responded to a fact check saying he never worked for their player analysis team. Not only that, the Eagles also said that Eddie did try to do an in-person presentation in March of 2018, but that was already a month after the Eagles had already won the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And also they didn't hire him because of course not. Meaning there's no way this story is true. And yet,
bro, this guy's a legend, honestly. So far, Eddie is a fucking legend. He's just lying his way to the top. Holy moly.
He's convinced people
not paying his landlords, not paying his credit cards, and lying. That's a lie. He lies, he cheats, he steals. He's basically Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace, by the way. All respect to Eddie Guerrero. Damn.
The highest levels of sports that it is. And this is where we get back to Cryptozoo, of course, because it's how he got involved with that project. Remember Jeff Levin, Logan's manager, I spoke to last time?
I kind of.
Well, he also spoke to Adam Robb. And when he told him the reasons he liked Eddie, they sounded very familiar.
And did he tell you, I guess, kind of like about like working with the NFL and that kind of stuff and the whole, like his time in the CIA and all that?
He did. And it was interesting. It was like, this is wild, like, that's pretty cool. But he's humble. He's not like ever bragging or anything like that.
Wait, but
oh yeah, well, he's humble.
But he is bragging. He literally made it all up. The CIA, NFL stories aren't true. How could that not be bragging? But that's the impression Eddie gave off. But that's not all.
Yeah, Viva la Raza. Yeah, Latino heat, baby.
He didn't just use made-up stories to get in with the Cryptozoo team.
That is a very Sigma pose he's running right now.
He also used his other connections, his real millionaire and billionaire friends that he's managed to gain with all these fake stories, and some of them vouched for him. People like Chris Birch and Todd Morley.
And what was the thing?
I have no idea who those guys are.
Was it the fact that like Chris and Todd and people like that kind of like have backed him in the past and like?
I just think he's a down-to-earth, cool, humble guy.
It sounds like everybody's falling in love with this Eddie guy. They all want to fuck him. That's what's happening.
Okay.
Who's been super successful. They're trying to do an agenda, and he's just kind of like, hey, look, I'm super smart in what I know, and I have amazing relationships through business that I've done.
It's incredible. I mean, how does this guy keep getting away with it? Honestly, it's baffling.
He's
but I've got to say, up till now, everyone's been fooled sort of fair and square on the same grounds. But I found out Cryptozoo did have an advantage that could have saved them all this trouble the whole time.
So a month before the launch of Cryptozoo, I got on the phone with Jeff Levin, Logan Paul's manager. And after he spoke fondly of Eddie and his work, I confronted him about some of Eddie's lies, including
Eddie watched Catch Me If You Can once, and he thought, I could do that. He was right.
How he didn't work for the NFL. Jeff told me he doesn't know much about the NFL, but he knows about the business world. And Chris Birch and Todd Morley vouched for Eddie. And so Jeff and Logan were going to continue working with him.
Wow. You would think rich people would be smarter than this? Guess not. Yeah, I mean, rich people are fucking dumb. You think that rich people are smarter than anybody? Absolutely not. They just have more money. They could just they can make shittier fucking. They could just be shitty. They can make shittier get investments. You know what I mean? Like a bad choice for a poor person is considered a fine choice for like a rich person. Oh, I just went on. I bought a PlayStation 5 that I'm never going to use. Oh, okay, whatever. Not ideal. Oh, I'm poor and I did that. Oh, that's much worse. You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, live within your means. I'm just saying it doesn't make them more smarter because they can make more mistakes. That's all it is. Being rich means you can make a lot more mistakes with more money.
Have you ever verified that anything Eddie said about himself is true?
we verified that it's true, yeah, we definitely talk to people, and his friends and people that he said he has relationships with, which we've confirmed them for sure.
Okay, because I had trouble with some of that, like with the NFL, like saying that like no, we've never worked with him and that kind of thing. But you've had
the NFL saying that.
Yeah.
They asked the guy. Well, they asked the Yankee manager or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, sure. That guy's these guys are idiots." Oh my god.
The comm teams for the Eagles and the Dolphins, and then the people specifically that he named that he said you work with.
Got it. I don't know necessarily the football stuff.
Okay.
I don't have relationships in the football world.
Sure.
But in the business world, we've definitely talked to multiple people.
Like topic person back to.
Correct.
Wait a second.
Wow.
This means at minimum, Jeff knew about Eddie's background beforehand, or part of it, and still decided to go with it. This is just unbelievable, willful stupidity. And since Jeff is Logan's manager, I assume him and the team should have known about this as well. But still, they went forward with it even though they knew this stuff before launch. Now, I started to reach out for comments about this because obviously this is a huge deal. But when I did, I got a call from somebody new. Someone with a different perspective that I hadn't heard from before. Jake, the Crypto King. He's been involved with some of Logan's projects in the past, like Pokemon, for example. He was called the Collectibles Guru a few years ago. Nowadays, he goes by Crypto King, and he's an advisor for the Cryptozoo project. So let's add him to the conspiracy.
What do you think that advisor means? Nothing. He just gets paid for bullshit, basically, is what it sounds like.
But the question is, what did he have to say? I took a call with him, and he mostly wanted to talk off the record. But when I pressed him, he was willing to at least put one thing on the record for me.
Ooh.
Right. One more thing about Eddie before we get off of him. We actually...
The biggest reason it failed, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to ever be thought that Logan's the reason it failed. He's not. Logan wasn't smart enough for what he tried to
Eddie.
build. And then when it was built
we busted the code.
and was failing, didn't have the ability to correct it and to save face and reputation. It was more convenient to pull out than to be associated with a failing project that...
That's true. My fucking... Dude, I literally... My dad said that to my mom before she had me. Too bad he didn't do that. Too bad he didn't do that.
You correct it and to save face and reputation, it was more convenient to pull out than to be associated with a failing project that the dev wrote. So I could put that one sentence on the record.
Well, that is certainly emphatic. Crypto King says it's all Eddie's fault. And this is a nice, neat theory for us.
Yeah.
Eddie ruined everything because, Eddie is a liar. So it does seem to explain how these developers got screwed. But this theory doesn't fit all the facts because Eddie was kicked off the team months ago. And still, the game is not working, despite Logan claiming they were going to go back and fix all the problems.
Again, retroactively working to make these projects right, and it takes time, bro. It just takes time. Development takes time. Working backwards to fix things, which isn't ideal, but also this project will speak for itself. And now, we're working backwards to try to fix it.
This just hasn't happened. Even a year from launch, the game just doesn't exist.
Yeah, I can see why people would criticize him, but I will say that it's a professional business world thing. It probably takes a lot to be able to get shit into the right way. So I could see why. It sucks for the people though. But I don't think that Logan wants to have a failed project where he tries to steal money from people, because there's no reason for him to, because that project would have taken off. I think he just kind of got fucked by the wrong people. Which is the people who hired Eddie fucking didn't actually do all the fact checking.
What's worse is the newest dev team who came on after Eddie just quit. And one of their reasons was they hadn't been paid for over a month. I know this because Logan's team is leakier than the Titanic and someone told me that, but we also have blockchain evidence. This is Jeff.
Why aren't they paying people though? That's bizarre.
Paying Block Ops, the company they hired out on July 19th. They were supposed to redo all this work. It's confirmed by their leaders.
Is Ether another crypto? Why people paying another crypto? It's so weird.
Yeah, talking about a first monthly payment on that day. But after that, there's nothing until they quit on September 26th in a post called Our Departure from Cryptozoo. Now, I do have to say, it does look like they were eventually paid, but only a day after they quit. And this is just the same problem as before, slightly different. Nobody can pay these devs on time, and investors end up getting nothing. And so I can't buy into the idea that Eddie's at fault for everything, because when Eddie was gone, they had a lot of the same problems. Now, it was only at the point that this dev team quit, Block Ops, that things really...
Bro, weird thing to notice, but I'm looking at the coffee and it's got smoke coming out of it. I feel like he CGI'd smoke in there. It's interesting.
really took a turn, because if the Titanic was leaking before,
or maybe he put like a little made it really hot, or did like a thing, put like a smoke in it, Maybe he put a cigarette in there or something. I don't know.
Now it was sinking, and everyone basically gave up hope. You know, from every direction, I started getting messages from all the investors who felt betrayed, who up to this point were holding on to hope. Now they felt defeated. They felt tricked by the Cryptozoo team who had fed them promise after promise, and they were sick of it.
He was never in the chat or anything, never apologized or told us anything.
Things didn't work out. Things didn't work out. We all get that. But
just give their money back.
To continuously lie, lead people
Did they ever give their money back? Probably not.
on, hype people up to put more money in, all the while in the background, things are going down, things are hitting the fan, and you left us holding the bag.
I know it was my decision, and I did my research, but I believe nobody has to lose money in this way.
And that's when a whistleblower stepped forward. And
I mean, Jake or Logan, whatever, he can lose the money. He can afford to lose the money. These guys probably can't. You know?
Decided enough was enough. They decided to leak me messages, team messages, from the Cryptozoo team, from all the way back in the beginning when they thought of this idea, all the way up to launch. And seeing that, it changed everything. Because all of a sudden, I got a lot of new information. Remember?
Oh, are you just put it in the next fucking episode, Coffeezilla?
Remember how Jake, the Crypto King, said Eddie was the only problem? Well, a year ago, he was saying something very different. On the day of launch, he said this to the group. Logan, you stole 40 million in tokens from me. You are a scam artist. You are a liar, and you betrayed your own community. You aren't that guy. Logan replies, oh, Jake, trust me, bro. I am that guy.
I am that guy. That's either Batman or an Italian person saying it. One of the two. I am that guy. That's one. Or I am that guy. Second one was Batman. The first one was the Italian. Okay.
You're going to change the whole story. Yeah, I'll go on the record for you. And yes, I'm going to show you the text message that said we can sell at these ascending market caps. And that it's not like I was trying to run the project. It's like I put $250,000 into a project plus 6 months of time. And the founder never did anything he said he was going to do. And then hired a bunch of devs that did what they were going to do. And every time I gave advice, the advice was I was told,
I am that guy.
So there was nothing illegal about that. Ethically, arguable. The rest that Logan did to me was ethically wrong and illegal.
You better watch out. My Uncle Vinny knows everybody. That's an actual bizarre threat that every Italian person will give you. Well, it might just, but instead of Uncle Vinny, it might just be Uncle Joey. You better watch. My Uncle Joey knows everybody. He met Elvis one time. I don't care. Piece of shit Italians. Anyway, good video. I'm just confused why this isn't one video. How come this isn't just one big thing? Maybe he's trying to make it more palatable? I don't know. So cool stuff.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.